Good evening and welcome back to Cannon Chatter TV. I'm back for episode 13 of the Arsenal Lazy Shows. It's been a while since I've been in the hosting seat. I do apologise, I have been ill and I lost my voice at Man United. So I can talk now. So happy days. Joining me tonight, I've got Adam. How are you, Adam?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
And on the bottom of the screen is my stat man, which is Matt. Hey, Matt.
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm just glad to talk again. Glad to talk again, but without how do I put this? Without having to shout, so to speak. Because to get in come Sunday morning last week, I had to shout to get any noise to come out of my mouth. So it was bad. It was really, really, really bad. But all good now. Now we've got the introductions up and running, and we know who everybody is. I'm going to run the intro.
He's in the middle, checks back against Carter and scores. That is atypical for the Meadow Park goal.
Quickly gets it back again. Oh, what a goal! Well, that sums up her season. The Gunners are WSL champions.
Welcome back to Cannon Chatter TV. I'm Lottie. I've got Adam and also Matt on the screen with me. So how are we feeling after that wonderful thumping to Villa we gave on Sunday?
Good. It was a good performance. It's the I think it's the most goals we've actually scored at home this season. So it's right time to have that sort of performance. Gutted I wasn't there in person, obviously, but it was a fine way to sign off our season at Meadow Park. We've got 2 more games, but they sadly won't be there. And I think it felt very much like a party sort of mood from what I gathered on the watching from beyond. It was everyone seemed to want to get on everyone wanted to get on the scoreboard by the looks of things, even Villa. So yes, I think it was a very enjoyable performance around. No stress, no anxiety, no panicking because they've scored 2 late goals and threatening a comeback. It was just looked like a serene, calm, enjoyable experience, and that's certainly how it came across.
No, it was nice. I was obviously in the North Stand area. Loved every minute of it as usual. So I can totally agree with what you said there, Adam. Matt, what did you think?
Yeah, and that was the vibe that you could get from the chat long as well. Me and Lee were just there as well. We were just having a nice little chat and talking. And I'm sorry, I've forgotten who else was on there. I know it was me and Lee.
Was it Sam?
No, Sam couldn't make it in the end.
Okay, so it's just you two. But I will say this. We've broken the curse. We've been on the chat along and we've won.
Yes.
And I've been in Meadow Park and we've won. No more curses, no such things.
Exactly.
So hopefully when Sam comes on, I believe that one's tomorrow now. So he needs to come on, we win, and then that's it. Done.
All sorted.
No, definitely.
Yeah, it was a really nice game, filled with almost end-to-end stuff. Mainly our shooting was on course. I think that a lot of the Villa team apparently was out injured or they were rotating their squad, so it seemed a bit off that half of the academy team was playing. But
no Hampton.
Yeah, Hannah Hampton was on the bench. That was a bit of a surprise to me, especially when she's supposed to be looking to be England's number 1 over the Euros for sure. It's on top of that, Sean. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes. Sean Roberts, I think, was in goal. She used to play for Arsenal. She's been a bit of everywhere. Aston Villa, Wolves, Birmingham. So she has been a bit of a traveller. I quite enjoyed the game. It was very stress free, and then we went into the other Arsenal game that day, which was so stressful.
Do you know what? Do you know what? I come out of Meadow Park of getting my shirt signed and everything. Walked into the pub and Rob Holding scores, and I was like, yes, lucky
It's all
charm.
going to. Yes. Well, that game, that other game, the other Arsenal game, I was very much half and half because I was working nights. So it was pretty much watched half of it in the hotel, and then was sort of listening on the radio on the way to site. Very thankful, obviously that we win. And then obviously the last game, I was of the team that we don't speak about, playing the team that we don't speak about because they beat us, facing off against each other. And I was trying not to watch it because I knew the moment I turned it on, they would score. And then I just couldn't stop myself. I turned it on, and Pernille Harder put that penalty in. I was like, the curse strikes again. So that one's on me, I'm afraid.
No, that's fine. We just blame you. We blame you for everything anyway, don't we? Don't we, Matt? Right, I'm just going to jump over to the comments before we move on to our next talking point. Got Stu in the chat. Evening, you lovely bunch.
Evening, Stu.
Stu, we had peace and quiet for a while, Lottie. But on a serious note, glad you're well. I don't mean to be funny, Stu, but you've had the same thing I've had peace and quiet too. Lee, the curse is over.
Yes, it is, Lee. Yes. Absolutely.
Stu, Lee and Matt were great on Sunday. Kudos. Lots of fun and banter in the chat with the guys doing the show. Well done, Matt and Lee. I know you're probably still listening, so well done again. I still need to go and watch that back to see how you guys did, actually, because I normally do.
It was a lot of fun because we were both using iPlayer, so we're all about a minute behind everyone else. So...
But no, do you know what? I thought that was a really good idea. Really, really good idea. Because I before my internet went on the previous stream with Adam and Lee, my internet completely packed up. I was sitting there, these two are talking away. I'm about a minute and a half behind. I'm thinking, I'm not enjoying this. Because obviously I've got Adam's amazing commentary and Lee, and I'm sitting there like, I'm not enjoying this as much. But I think that was a really good idea, just to be on like the same sort of device streams that we can all watch at the same time. Definitely. Richard, I think I saw you in a North Bank Sunday, like where you were George. Yes, I was, Richard. You walked past me. I did try to call you, but my voice was it was gone. But I did find it. I was making all the noise. Crystal Ball, Stu to the rescue, eh, Matt?
Yeah, it pretty much was.
Oh, definitely. Right. I know, Matt, you would have touched on this on Sunday, but I want to get Adam's thoughts on the starting lineup from Sunday.
So this is I see. So this is a 4-3-3. Yes, I'll be honest, I was a bit perplexed by when I saw the team sheet come through, because I'm used to having the Kim Walty sort of double pivot and then having a sort of attacking four. With no Stina, I sort of saw it as Mead being the lead, or maybe, I think even said on the Twitter, maybe Beth Mead or Caitlin Ford leading the line. But no, very different sort of lineup, very different way of doing it, very attacking, which was interesting. And it proved to be very effective. I think this is the sort of lineup, or sort of opposition of Aston Villa that you can afford to be a bit more gung-ho against. It's not like the Chelsea game in the FA Cup. They don't, they've done very well this season, Aston Villa, but they don't possess the same sort of threats that maybe a Man City or a Chelsea or maybe Man United would have. So you can afford to overload the sort of attacks. You've got McCabe on the left and Ford. You've got Miedema doing what she does normally with 2 great goals in the first half. Mead as well. So yeah, I was a bit annoyed. Well, not annoyed, but I was hoping to see Rafa back, but it sounds like she's still injured. But Lottie has deputised well there. Got a goal, which is nice.
Yep, because I turned up again. That's 2 goals this season I've seen by her.
Absolutely,
the
obviously
Lottie effect.
The Lottie effect, exactly, and from a bungled free kick once again, which was nice. So yeah, I was happy. Obviously, the result justifies the lineup. Whilst it was one sort of struggle to get my head around, more than happy to see how it plays out. Interesting choice of goalkeeper in Lydia Williams. We haven't seen much of her this season. the impression I'm getting is that she might be looking to move on at the end of the season, because obviously she's not starting games. She's become the cup keeper behind Manu. So I got the impression she started almost as like a farewell. And I thought that was a nice touch to give her. I think Manu will come in for the derby, given the importance of the game, and will probably start again if she stays fit, obviously, or doesn't get a stupid red card like certain other keepers. Then she probably start the West Ham game as well. So no, it was a good all round from those who started, a good performance from all that played. And also from those who came off the bench, which I'm sure we'll get to later.
No, definitely. Matt, with this starting 11, would you have changed anything about it at all? Or was you completely happy with it?
When I was looking at it, I actually thought it was going to be Viv playing in her usual sort of role, Katie coming in on the wing, not in the midfield, and Caitlin would be up front. As Richard said, someone had mentioned that Manu had personal issues, which is why she didn't turn up for this game. But I still have a feeling that Lydia would have been this game's keeper for sure, considering that her contract is actually expiring. So I can imagine her going back to Australia because she'll want to be the number one for that World Cup next season.
Home World Cup for Australia as well.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't really change much in there. Caitlin Ford's on a bit of a roll at the moment with goals and assists, so you wouldn't really want to take her out even if you could. So it is quite difficult to see any real changes.
No, that's brilliant. I mean, I was happy with the lineup. I mean, I was just happy to be there in general. I wouldn't change anything if I'm honest with you. But I think, I know Richard's just said Manu had personal issues, but she was warming up when I was standing there talking to you guys. Just before you and Lee jumped on the stream, I was on the side where they were warming up. She looked fine, but it was also nice to see Lydia play as well. Ryan's just dropped in. Evening, Ryan. Evening, everyone. Stu saying good day to Ryan. So
what I would add with that starting lineup is what was nice is there wasn't any. If you remember your last trip to Meadow Park, there wasn't any sort of crazy tactical, madness of like, we'll play Katie McCabe as a right back. It was there was a lot. There was square pegs and square holes. There was a logic to how it worked out, and I think that that should be commended.
Oh no, definitely. It was just a normal fit. It's what you expect. I mean, it was also Anita Santos, one of her second to last game before she retires.
Legend.
Absolute Arsenal legend. She's our Champions League winner. Still the only team in England to do it, which I do absolutely love. But it was a pleasure. Even though she did kind of get spanked, it was a pleasure just to watch her play in general. Adam, do you have any memories of her playing? Actually,
no. Basically, with the Lionesses, not with Arsenal.
That's fine. That's why I'm asking.
She was a star with the Arsenal during their sort of peak years under Vic Akers. Won the Champions League, won the quadruple, and then went on to. I think she went even over. I think she did Scandinavia for a bit as well. She went around a bit and doing some of the other teams, and then recently came back for Aston Villa. My main experience of watching her play was with the Lionesses. So she was a part of the 2009 squad that got to the final. Sadly, lost to the to Germany. And then obviously in 2011, I think she had a part to play in that as well. So no, she was very much a sort of a name always associated with the Lioness, with watching England. A staple at the back, the likes like people like Bassett and Scott and players like that. So no, a stellar career. Won the lot with Arsenal, and was certainly part of that early Lioness team that sort of set the foundations for sort of raising the profile of the Lionesses to the team that we see nowadays. If it wasn't for players like the Anita Santes, the Alex Scotts, the Karen Barsleys, who's just retired, just announced retirement, and we wish her all the best. We wouldn't have the probably the scale of the WSL and the team, the England team that we have now. So kudos to her, and yeah, what a career.
No, definitely, Matt. Obviously you've seen her play in the WSL. Do you think she'll be missed?
Yeah, I remember her playing quite well actually this season for Aston Villa against Everton. Her and Anna Passon had a really nice understanding from each other, and you could tell that she was learning quite a lot. And I'm hoping that she carries that on. If Anita Asante is looking for roles in the future, maybe she might go into those sort of mentoring roles or key speaker sort of roles that you see some of them do. I don't think that she'll go into punditry. Maybe
she has said she wants to be the Arsenal manager one day.
Ooh.
On a BBC interview, she said at the end, "I would love to manage the club that I love, Arsenal." So yeah, keep an eye out for that.
Okay, so there we go. We've got the job roles already sorted out. She's going to be an ambassador, and then she's going to work her way up, isn't she? But it's important to have things like that, though. You're always looking for someone to be the inspiration for the next generation, and if they can get it from someone that's not playing at the moment, someone that's looked at through other people's eyes that they remember playing, like Kelly Smith, for example. That's the key one that I always think about. Alex Scott doing it as well at the moment. It's just something that keeps you inspired and keeps it going, and that's the important thing at the end of the day.
Yeah, sorry guys, my phone just went off there. That was Twitter. I do apologise. Yeah, no. Obviously, I know all the stats and facts, but that was the first time I've seen her play, and probably the last. So it was just nice to be there. With where I was standing, we were singing "She's One of Our Own," and she kind of turned around and looked at us, and it's like a bit of acknowledgement, but not proper acknowledgement. So she definitely heard us, which just brings a smile to my face. But Ryan's put up another comment. Yes, Ryan, curse is broken. Matt's curse is broken as well for doing the chat-alongs. There's only Sam to go now. Sam, if you're watching this back, I do apologise. You're the only one left.
Yeah,
we need to get rid of this curse. Lee Meadow, she's always was a key part of the GB team.
Yes, 2012, the 2012 team. Yes, I actually did go to watch that one of their games, which was rather special. That was the one we beat Cameroon 3-0. So yes, no, she had a key part in that. That was quite a special tournament. And again, it was a home tournament, and I think we didn't do very well. We got up the group, but didn't progress any further. But definitely raised the awareness, got the big crowd at Wembley for the Brazil game. Just another stepping stone onto where we are now with our sport.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm going to talk about a subject that really quite upset me during the game now. And that is our wonderful Jordan, our number 8, Jordan Nobbs. I know you two have seen my Instagram already, but I was flicking through my photographs. This is about just before Stina scored.
Yeah.
And if I just open up the window, I will zoom in. Give me 1 second. And you can see there's something not quite right over here.
No.
And I stood there and thought to myself, she's not going to be okay for the next 5 minutes. She's going to be off.
Yeah.
Just after the ball goes in, Jordan goes down, I should say. And it's disappointing because she deserves international football. I want to see her at the Euros for me. I mean, as Arsenal fans, we want to see our girls go. But I think Jordan deserves it more than most of them. I don't know why, I just do. Because I'm just counting down the days till I see her start, and we just haven't seen it.
No, it is sad. I put a post up the other day. She's only ever scored one tournament goal. And that was in typical Nobbs fashion. It was a worldie. It was a worldie of a volley against Scotland. It is ridiculous in a sense because she's been with Arsenal, I think, since the beginning of the WSL started. I think she's been there all along. She's been for over 10 years or so, and yet she's only had one proper England tournament under her belt. She was injured for the 2015 tournament. So and then 2019, obviously, she was injured. it's a real shame. It's just a player who, for whatever reason, just cannot stay fit and has not been able to get the minutes. And whenever she has got the minutes, she's it's been minimal, and then this happens. I'm reminded a bit of Cazorla in a way. My first ever Arsenal game I went to, a home game, it was Cazorla's last for Arsenal, and he went off injured and never saw him again. And he was a player that at his tail end of his career just could not stay fit and was having injuries. And it feels a bit like sort of seeing Nobbs. Thankfully, she could walk off, but she sort of knew the way that she was acting, the way that she was reacting. She knew that it was a bad one. And I think she probably is worried now that, like the 2019 when she did her ACL, she's probably thinking this is a Euros and a home Euros at that. She might not be in the team, and that will just be awful for her to lose, to miss out on the Olympics and to lose 2 tournaments in a row due to injury. And you just worry for her long term. What's her career going to be like? Is she going to be just a player that just occasionally comes off the bench, have to manage her minutes, a bit like the Wilshires and the Diabys? And it's cruel to see such a talent, and she's not like she had a bad tackle or anything. She's just had innocuous injuries that just seem to plague her, and it's awful luck.
No, definitely. Matt, I know on Facebook you posted a picture of Jordan on crutches on her way out after the game. Do you think this is a really bad injury?
You never know. That's the thing. I think it was kind of a bit of a crush, really. The fact that she was so close, I'm tearing up a little bit already.
Yeah. Okay.
But the fact that she's just scored her 50th goal in the previous game, and I'd literally just congratulated her and managed to get a photo from her for the first time as well.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And the fact that I was able to congratulate her and she said thanks, and then the next game you see her in that image, and that summed it up. And when you looked at it as well from the chat log, as soon as she went down, I could kind of tell that she was in that. She knew it was something quite difficult. Some people have been saying that they've been forced to put her on crutches because it's how they have to deal with it. Beth had to run over, apparently. Lottie, you would probably know this a little bit more because I was only on the TV coverage.
Yeah.
So the fact that happened, it's a difficult one, and she deserves to go, not only because of her playing style and the way that she has so much passion for the game, but she's instrumental. She gets you these assists. She gets you those important moments in games. It's not like she's there just for the sake of it, like some of the other players that I could mention.
She can pull it out the fire. She can get you a goal like out of nowhere. I remember an FA Cup game Arsenal had. We were playing Man City away and we were terrible. We were 1 goal behind. And just suddenly out of nowhere, edge of the box, she just pulls a worldie out of thin air and equalises. And sometimes you just need that moment that she can give you. It is. I don't think she'll play at the Euros. I think looking at the scenes of that, I think she will be out for some time and probably will be out the Euros. That's my guess. She's definitely out the season. That's been confirmed.
It was almost like
season's almost done. So sorry, Matt, go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say it looked like a mini farewell. We've been told that she's got another year on her contract as well.
Yes.
So
his answer hasn't changed. So
it's not the end of the road, that's for sure.
We hope not. She's very popular. She's a very popular player, loved by us all Arsenal fans, and it'll be horrible if this was a final walk. But I think she says she got 1 season. I hope she can get fit enough for that, and if she can have a better season, because this season's been so disrupted. If she can, show us the Jordan that we know next season and stays fit enough, hopefully we can convince her to stay on.
No, definitely. Maybe even see her go after the World Cup. That would be brilliant.
Yes, give her.
If it means she misses this one and she gets to go next year, I'd be happy with that. How would you boys feel about
that? I would be happy with that instead. I mean, I was going to say what I was going to say about watching her is you could tell how she she was almost in denial with the injury because she wanted to play on regardless. And I think she kept going about 2 or 3 times until she had to eventually give up defeat. So she's still got the passion. And, if you could guarantee that she would be at the Australian World Cup if she was in, missed this one, then yes. But of course, football doesn't work like that. Unfortunately. I remember watching the Lioness, the documentary on the build up to the World Cup, and they were showing the Lionesses in the She Believes, that little tournament in America, and then it was all filmed from Nob's perspective, and she was sitting on a sofa with, trying to get her ACL back online. I don't want to have another, tournament where she was doing the punditry in the World Cup, but you could tell that she didn't want to be there. She wanted to be on the pitch. It's just terrible. I do hope she gets a tournament, just one tournament where she can just do what we know Nobs can do. That's all we ask.
One last hurrah, almost.
Yes, because she is getting towards the tail end. Well, she's definitely getting towards the tail end of her career now,
isn't she? I think she might be looking at her injury record, maybe considering her options.
No, definitely. I mean, hopefully she'll stay with us for another season, because obviously there's that image floating around Twitter of her name written on a whiteboard, the end date 2022.
Yes.
Which has made most of us all skeptical. And Matt's sitting there laughing.
Yes, that TikTok very quickly got deleted,
isn't it? Just and Jennifer Beattie strike again.
Yeah, no, of course. And then you had the Raffaella's pronunciation on there, which I found really interesting. It's actually a H. Raffaella.
Yes, it's Raffaella. Yeah.
So I've got to put that in the brain instead of reading it with my English brain, so to speak. I'm just going to pop over to the comments and see who's there. Luca in the chat, big up. Hey, Luca.
Hello, Luca.
Richard saw Jordan after the game and crushes getting into Beth's car. She was still crying. Do you know what? My picture was just before she found out. She just went down, and I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I wasn't really surprised that Leah came over, because obviously their past relationship, but even Leah knew. So
the only thing I would say is at least she walked off the pitch. That's the only sort of consolation, is that she wasn't, when she did her figure ACL at Everton about 2018, I think it was like off on a stretcher sort of thing. She was able to walk off. So
hopefully
maybe
it's not that bad then. Fingers crossed. Hopefully she'll come back stronger. And
The other alternative.
Sorry,
Lottie, go on, and then I'll.
And Lee's just put it in perfect words. So much love for Jordan Nobbs. Absolute legend. Hope she recovers quickly. We all want her back.
I was just going to say, I've been lucky enough to go to St George's Park, and the medical facilities there, they've got enough there for her to probably maybe stay for the week or two, just so she can work on maybe seeing how bad it is, instead of just relying on going to hospital or something like that. Maybe that would be something that she'll look to do to try and make sure that she's back.
On the flip side of that whole injury in St George's Park in England, the only thing is I don't want to be in a position of 2015 where, yes, we patch her up, but then we try and ship her to the Euros and help anyway. Because when you think about the men's team and the amount of times we've picked players on reputation, the talent we know they have, even though they're going in with a bad injury, when you think of the likes of Rooney and Beckham and things like that, and it's just not worth it. If there's only, I want to see Nobbs in tournament, but if she's not fully fit and on form, there are younger players, hungry players coming through, the likes of Hemp, the likes of Stanway, who should probably start. Maybe as a bench player, but I don't want to risk jeopardising her further.
Yeah, would you risk? Arsenal bias aside, Matt, actually, I'm going to ask you this one. Would you risk Jordan for a full 90 minutes, or would you rather her come off the bench for England, considering all the young, hungry players we've got?
It depends on the game. If it was a qualifier, I would probably have her on for the first 45 minutes, so that she can so she can pass on the experience, and then at half time, then bring on that substitute. Don't make it bring her off the bench when there's 20 minutes left and you're 20 goals up against Latvia or something like that, because then it's a unneeded cap that she's just now added. That was another thing as well, is that Tommy's added in there, that a lot of a lot of the fans tomorrow would like to start a minute's applause for.
Yes, I saw that on
Yes.
Twitter. Yes, well said, Matt. Absolutely, I think that's an absolutely cracking idea. And
Yeah, because I have no doubt she's going to be in the stands somewhere. She won't miss the North London derby.
well,
There's no way.
well, she'll be standing, or she'll be not. She won't be standing. She'll be in the stand, or she'll be watching from home.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
she
think
might be in a box somewhere. We never know.
Oh, she might be sat next to us. We'll have to keep an eye
It'll
out
be
for
di-
her.
Oh, that would be lovely. That would be lovely.
That'll be a nice
no.
little good opportunity for you all there.
No, I fully agree. If any Arsenal fans watching and they're going to the stadium, I mean, if you're not going to the stadium, you should be going to the Emirates absolutely tomorrow to watch the Arsenal play. Spurs, it's going to be amazing. And if you are going, eighth minutes in, absolutely round of applause and sing her name loud, so you know that we have her. She has our support.
No, most definitely. No, most absolutely agreed with that. I'm just sorry, Tommy. I do apologise. Good evening.
Good evening, Tommy.
But Matt spotted that comment before I did, so I'm just going to go bit of a rewind and come back. And also Stu saying hoping Nobs gets well soon. On to a bit more of a positive thing. Finally, our new signing's got her 50th.
Yes.
WSL.
Yes.
And look who caught a picture of the strike.
Yes.
That
Brilliant.
was me.
Brilliantly captured.
So,
yes.
But I'm so pleased for her. There was obviously a bit of commotion beforehand. Something was going on with the defenders. I wasn't really concentrating. I was too busy with the phone. But there was something going on. It took well over a minute and a half to sort out. I don't know about you boys. If you saw what happened, do you think that referee should have pulled out a card? Because I do.
It was just a bit of something of nothing, just a bit of argy-bargy into the box. It was, at that point in the game, there was no real reason to put any, cards out or draw attention to it. It was just a bit of pushing and shoving, and I think the ref wanted to maybe, to talk a bit too much. My only concern was that with the excess delay, it might put Nikita off. You talk about the old mind games thing, and the longer it goes on, the more you overthink about it. But fair play to her. She took the penalty well. Great captain material from Little there to recognise the need for Nikita to be able to do this, because I do think the fact that it's one of these sort of snowball effects. The longer it's gone on, the worse it's sort of affected, I think, mentally. And we saw her miss an absolute sitter at Brighton a few weeks ago. And you just sort of tell that this whole 50th goal has she hasn't scored and she needs to score. And thankfully, this opportunity came up, and thankfully she gave Nikita the opportunity, and thankfully she scored it. And you could see the whole team, the way the team surrounded her and celebrated with her. They all know, and she knows, that is a massive goal and a massive moment for her, because she will know that she has not had a good season in her first season at Arsenal. We can't sugarcoat it. She was brought in, record signing, she's experienced at England, Champions League winner with Lyon. She was the record goal scorer with 49 before she left. She was brought in for a reason, and she has not come close to fulfilling the potential that she has exhibited. So I hope that this can be maybe a springboard, that now she's got that out the way, now she's got that monkey off her back, she can maybe try and get a bit more between now and the end of the season, and then next season hopefully she can sort of step it up and refocus. And now that she's got her first goal, I mean, it did have an air of I use his name just because it's recency bias, but we all remember a certain Brazilian scoring a free kick against West Brom last season for the men. I don't think it's been at that levels of terribleness, but it's the closest thing I can compare to. But I think that unlike him, I do think Paris could have a future at the club if she can, if she can get going again. Because I think in the other competitions, in the early Champions League games and in the cup competitions, she has demonstrated that she can contribute to the team. I just think she just needs to redefine a game to sort of align with how Jonas wants to play, and then hopefully we can see some of that, because we'll need her for the squad rotation if we're in Europe next season.
Oh no, 100%. I mean, obviously there's the rumor that she was never a Jonas purchase. Sorry, guys.
That's fine. It's fine.
So I'll just go on my.
You carry on, Matt. So what did you think of the goal, Matt?
So what I was seeing was basically Caitlin Ford was messing around with the Aston Villa defender. So then the Villa defender was trying to push and shove her, and then she was holding her ground, and the referee had to hold that. Then then she turned around and said, "Enough now." The ref said, "Enough now, no more." So then another Aston Villa player gets on top of her, and then it all kicks off again. So that so the referee does turn around and go, "Right, okay, you've got to stop this now." Then it kept on going for a little bit longer, and then Leah Williamson decided to get involved as well to put herself in there. So all this is going through her mind, and the fact that it's got to it is going to be playing on your mind. The fact that you've got to take a call. I was just wondering. I am a bit selfish, and I do have a wide range of expressions on how I was feeling on Caitlin Ford, and one of them was, "Why are you doing this now to your own teammate? You didn't need to do it." And the fact that Kim Little did pick up the ball and basically just hand it to Keats in the first place, it shows not only her leadership, but the fact that how much it would have meant for her to get that goal finally. Out of everyone that we've signed this season, there is only one player that now has not scored for us, and that's Laura.
Laura, Weinreuter and Boyer both haven't scored.
Boy as well. So
Oh wow.
Yeah, but Boy hasn't had enough games actually, so it's a 50-50 with her, isn't it? So it would be nice. It would be nice if by the end of the season, all two of the other two do score. So that's a nice little record to have, I think, because I think that will be the first time that's actually happened by a club.
Can't see it happening, unfortunately. I don't think Boy is going to get on the score sheet in the next season. It'd be nice, but I just don't see it happening.
Just thinking on the lines though, that with Stina's goal as well, Stina could have quite easily just passed that to Laura, and Laura would have had her goal as well, which would have been quite nice. But Stina just tucked it in. You can't get mad when you score. When you score that sort of goal.
She's had a bit of a dip in form, I think. You're saying she had a bit of a mini goal drought. So that will do nice to sort of just keep her tally ticking over, because she was unlucky to get one chalked off last weekend. So no, that will do. Do very well.
Definitely. I mean, she's sort of arrived in January. She's hit the ground running, and it's absolutely brilliant to see. So
hats off to
tiny little drought. Sorry, say that again, Matt.
Hats off to Kim Little as well, because there's a nice little video by AFW Clips again, the one that did the intro for the channel. They did a nice little video of the Keats trying to give Kim a nice little hug after she scored that goal, and you can lip read her, and she's saying thank you as well. The first person she wanted to thank was Kim.
Absolutely. Well, it's nice it's nice to see a captain putting others ahead of their own personal goals. I mean, we can all think of a certain players who would want that penalty, want to keep their goal tally going. But no, it's not about me. It's about the team, and there's somebody who needed that goal. And fair play to her.
Yeah, no, I've got to say I've got a lot of admiration for Kim, because I was waiting for her to sign my shirt at the end before everyone. The guy's like, hurry up, I'm going to go watch the men's game. She looked at him and continued to sign in people's shirts. I was killing myself laughing. He was trying to do that to Beth as well, and Beth just, because is it the West Stand opposite you? Because there were so many people there, and I was waiting around on the northwest corner. They just literally, I was telling her to hurry up, and Beth went to every single person, and so did Kim, which is always appreciated. They've always got time for us, but it's apparently, from what I'm seeing on the socials, it's always the same people telling them to hurry up, we want to go. So from what that's from socials. I'm not a regular fan, so
no,
I
don't
be
normally.
Season, though.
Yes, absolutely.
In the cold as well, because there's men's football, and I need my football fix. So
I'm not usually at that end of the where I sit. I'm not normally at the West End. I'm thinking about maybe moving over there next season. We'll see. I'll get a different perspective on the game. So we'll see. Yeah, no, it's just when we come in, it's a bit easier for me to come in from the south stand and just come round with George. So, and I said, and like kind of just find a space where you can hear me and sit there and commentate and watch the game myself. So it's quite fun, because Bournemouth haven't actually got the headsets, so I have to do it myself. They won't. No, you have to
and I have to admit, the last two games I've picked up shirt numbers a bit quicker than I normally would have done. All right, I'm going to zip over to these comments very quickly before we go on to the Northampton derby, which I know we're all looking forward to. Tommy will be standing ovations tomorrow, wishing a speedy recovery. If you are going, guys, I know me and Adam are going, and so is Matt, actually. Matt's on lower tier. We're on club level. We're all going. Please make sure you stand up at 8 minutes for a round of applause for Jordan Nobbs and just belt her name out as loud as possible. Tommy, come to club level. We love you, Jordan. We only took half an hour for that penalty to happen. Tommy, tit for tat. I'm surprised you didn't predict it. Stu, haha, crystal ball failed me. Or did it? Tommy, I've had my Barnet cut tonight in case he sees Laura. Oh, Tommy, are you going then? Stu, out on the pole. Woohoo. Luca's obviously watching the Villarreal game that's going on tonight. And yep, Tommy's going to be there. Tommy, if you're on club level, me and Adam will see you there.
Absolutely.
I think I'm in 61 tomorrow.
I'm 60 something. I can't remember exactly. I have to look at my ticket. It's on my.
Yeah. So, but we're definitely there tomorrow. So that's everything for the Aston Villa game. Boys, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Yes, block 61. I'm in. So
hey, we're in the same block.
Somewhere, yeah, but we'll probably be at the other end of the block. So we'll see how it goes.
That's just our luck, though. But depending on who's there, you don't necessarily have to sit in your seat. So
no.
I was in row 4 and I got front row seats last time. I was well pleased.
I just hope I'm not surrounded by a load of you-know-what's fans. Apparently, they decided to take a block. I think it was the block 18 and 17. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that now.
I know, Holly. Yeah. Actually, the you-know-what fans, guess who's going, boys? Holly.
Oh,
Holly Agenbach is going. We're going to meet up with her. We're going to meet up with her, so it'd be nice to see her. She's going.
We
so
need to arrange something to meet up with each other.
No, definitely. I definitely want to get us all together and do a massive group photo. It needs to be done. So we're going to have to organise something for sure.
What also needs to be done is, and it's been mentioned many times before, is with the whole thing with fans mixing on this sort of occasion, you need to have segregated away ends. There needs to be.
That's fact. There's going to be loads of people there that are going to be idiots. Prime example was it United Everton, Matt, that you was at when they were mixing in those problems?
I
think that was Old Trafford.
Oh yes, no, I no, that was, they separated the Everton and United fans, but there was United fans giving the stick to the Everton fans, and they were creeping closer and closer. But I don't know if you know, but there's like a huge sort of fence trying to cut away from the away fans. So it just made no sense. It didn't make any sense. But it's not the first time things like that have happened. I was at the Birmingham game when one Arsenal fan took it among himself to basically abuse the referee, the Birmingham players, and the Arsenal players all at once. And it's just you get one idiot doesn't mean that they have to ruin it for the rest of us. I think I started off chanting Arsenal towards the end just to drown him out, and a load of fans joined in. And just to let them know that they were there. I know it was a bad game and everything, but it's going to be a lot different. And I'm hoping for a nice little atmosphere. It's not going to. I know it'll be a bit of a tasty one in the ground, that's for sure.
No.
But
I hope so. I know the little kids are going to all enjoy singing their Spurs songs. I think that when we were there at Barcelona, I kind of changed them over to Arsenal songs because I was like, I'm watching Barcelona. And it's one of my biggest peas. It doesn't matter if it's men's or women's. We're watching Arsenal and someone else, not Tottenham.
Yeah.
But
Never hear those songs at the women's game. Never hear them.
No.
At Barcelona, there was a football team that were there and they started singing it and I was like...
No, wrong match in the wrong match. I'm afraid that's
the wrong
them lot
person.
in Champions League. They got to be dreaming.
Yeah, I know. Champions League, you're having a laugh, right? Oh my God, it is Tommy. It's my Tommy. Sorry, guys. He's on his phone. He's got a different username. He's 2 seats away from me. How lucky am I?
He's got about 4 different accounts, hasn't he?
I hope he's in that case. I hope he's subbed 4 times in that case.
Exactly, all of them. Now, so you're absolutely right, Matt, with the sort of fan base and stuff. The fans of the women's game are generally obviously more mature and sensible, and would not lower themselves to such depravity. But obviously, with this sort of fixture, we're trying to bring in those who support the men's as well, and there is always that fear that if they might bring a bit, some of the muck along the way. I do hope not. I hope it is a good atmosphere. I know it's a derby, but I don't want it to be I don't say we're toxic exactly, but how these derbies can go with the toing and froing between fans. I want there to be some level of decency. So we'll see. Looks like it's going to be about 10,000 roughly attendance wise.
I was going to ask you that in a minute. I'm just going to quickly cut to the break, guys, and then I'm going to pick Adam's brains for numbers and everything else.
Okay.
And we'll come back to that in a minute, Adam. Guys, I'll see you on the other side. And welcome back to Cannon Chatter TV. We're now on the other side for the North London derby. I know we were touching on it just beforehand, before I ran the video. But Adam, what numbers have you got for me? How many people?
Loads. Loads.
Just
not loads.
I was wondering when I was going to get my first dad joke of the night.
No. Well,
it took you 45 minutes.
It took. I'm falling a bit behind. I need to speed up. So, yes, looking at the great ticket map on the Arsenal website, they've kept the stands open that we got up to, which is about, I think, up to block 4. So it's the and unfortunately I've got it in front of me, so that I know it's not exactly the compass point. It's not north facing, but it's the main stand that we were open, and then all the way sort of round. We've almost got around the stadium, so we've got about I'd say about a half of the bottom section and a bit. Yeah. They've opened up, and it's it looks like it's the most I've seen us in the looks like capacity wise, compared to say the Champions League game against Wolfsburg, which was a bit of a disappointment. The Chelsea game had a bit more. It looks like it's going to be the bigger out of the 3. I was saying about 10,000 nearly. That's what I've heard online. A drop off, sadly, from what we were going to get before Spurs had a coincidental COVID outbreak. Convenient COVID.
I mean, I remember that day we were meant to be going. The sun was out. It was nothing but blue skies in North London, and I was sitting there fuming.
I was honestly mentally I was wiped out. I was very grateful that a friend of mine at work offered me the chance to go to the England game at Wembley, which did soften the blow somewhat. But I was mentally just distraught because I was everything had been building up to that and just had the rug pulled out. But no, I think it will be a good occasion. It will be a drop off because obviously it's a midweek. People have said, well, I'm not available, which is fair enough. I hope people do make the effort to go. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's a very good price, 12 quid for an adult, 35 odd quid, for a club level. I mean, it's a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. And more importantly, I hope that the game matches the occasion. As some of us were my first North London derby, because I've never been to a men's one, although I very nearly did, if you remember my first appearance, one game out. But I did go to the women's one, and I did go to the North London derby at the Hive, and that was early in the season, and that was a very special occasion. We didn't win, but that was a really positive atmosphere and a really nice late twist at the end. Hoping we get 3 points because we need them. So yes, lots to look forward to tomorrow.
No, definitely. Matt, is this going to be your first North London derby?
Yes, it will be. So it'll be a special occasion. It'll be nice to actually meet everyone in general. It's going to be a nice evening, nice night, and hopefully a lot of top quality football, and hopefully will be quite an interesting one. Just in general, them lot in the last 5 away games, they've drawn 2, lost 2, and won 1. They've scored 5 and conceded 5. So it's got goals written all over.
I would say they did very well against Chelsea over the 2 games. They lost both of them, but they were in it.
I knew you was going to bring this up, but how Spursy can you get?
I know. That those 2 minutes before half time, having a player advantage and not taking advantage, it was. You can take
on top of that, you bring yourself back into a game, and then 30 seconds later, you just dismiss all your hopes as well.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
It's just you can't count on Spurs.
This is just
Different
I thought they were
team,
gonna help
same
us
out playing
out.
Spurs.
They got the keeper sent off.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I know I've said this, and I think there's also more to Chelsea, and I've said this on previous tweets before. Is Chelsea just have that that mentality, that force of will, that player down, goal behind. It doesn't matter to them. Playing badly doesn't matter. They will find a way to win. They're like the Manchester United men's team, under Fergie, when they could be playing badly, they'll go 2 goals behind, they'll win 3-2 because they just will. And that is just the way. And we saw it against Birmingham. They were rubbish at St Andrews, just as we were, but they won because they can, and that's what they do, and that's what we're up against. So you can't really count on anyone to sort of do you favours this stage of the season. Now they got the finish line in sight. We're now having to hope Mark Skinner does us a favour with his Manchester United side. So, desperate times and all that.
United have already bottled it at this point. They've got almost nothing to play for. They're hoping Birmingham can do them a favour at City.
Favour against Man City, exactly.
Why should we ask them for favours when they didn't give us a favour in the Elite Conti Cup?
And they didn't do us a favour when they drew against us at Meadow Park, which I still stand as the sort of the killer blow to our title. But anyway, that's in the future. The present, or the closer future, is of course the North London derby.
No, definitely
the best future.
What I am going to do is I'm going to pull up the Villa team, because I've got to be honest with you. Adam only made one change, and that was to take McCabe out.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, would you still go with a 4-3-3? Or would you change it, Adam?
I would change it because I think Spurs are a better team than Villa. Spurs are a team. I would say also, and look, I'm going to be, very, heretical here. I would like to give praise to the Spurs women's team as the fact that they have, from a women's football neutral perspective, how much they are improving as a side. I think they're going to become They've got a good director under Skinner. They've done very well this season. They are building upon last season. They're becoming competitive in these big games. They've taken points of Man United. They've won at Manchester City. This is a team that deserves respect. It is not a team that will, just be, should be brushed aside and treated as an easy 3-pointer. And I think for that reason, they should be shown respect. And that's why I think we will shift back to the double pivot of Kim and Lottie to give us a bit more control. Sadly, this means the sacrifice of McCabe. I also think at the moment the McCabe-Catley axis down the left I don't think works. I think Catley works better when we've got Ford at left wing. I've certainly since the Asia Cup, when Ford has been deployed there and deployed with Catley, I think that left flank has worked well. Helped by the fact obviously that Ford has come back into form. And then you'd have obviously then Steiner stand up front and Mead operating deep. Mead obviously on the right. Obviously the problem then is, McCabe is obviously amazing, but where do you fit her in? So you'd either be that we'd have her starting at left back, and maybe if Idabel wants to go more attacking down the left, then obviously then we can deploy McCabe there. Otherwise, it will just be obviously I think Catley again has done perfectly adequately well at left back. She hasn't really given us anything to worry about there. She's been very stable. So that's my reason. Nothing to do with anything bad for McCabe, even though there is a red arrow on there, which I assume means a substitution rather than a drop in form.
Yeah, she was subbed off, wasn't she?
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Last game.
Yeah, so it is purely a change of shape, just because having seen Spurs play against Chelsea back to back, I know they lost both of them, but they, caused Chelsea problems. They scored against them, both of them. If things had gone differently, if they defended a bit better, they might have held it out. And they are strong defensively. Shouldn't be underestimated. We saw at the Hive how difficult they were to break down. I think it might be worth having McCabe on the bench as a bit of extra powder to bring on if we need to overwhelm them in later on in the game. If it's still level. It might be worth to, don't go gung-ho now, hold a bit back, get the shape right, and then overpower them later on in the game. So that's my reasoning.
No, that's not bad. It's not bad. And we know how...
Sorry, Tommy.
We'll come back to it in a second, boys. We know how intense North London derbies are. We saw that from Katie. She did lose her rag last time, if I remember rightly. I think it was that game anyway.
She got sent off
Memory's
against
terrible.
Manchester United.
Yeah, that's where she lost her rag. I do apologise, guys.
Yeah, that's fine.
But no, it's fair enough. You still haven't given me a formation yet, though, Adam.
4-2-3-1. So
Okay.
it's the normal back four with Maritz
Yep.
steady as ever, and see no reason to take her out. Williamson and we know now that I think Sousa is definitely out for the season, or was very close to being out for the season with injury, which is a shame. We haven't seen her play much. Looking forward to next season. So definitely Lotta and Leah would be great if either of those got a goal against Spurs. Would be fantastic. I think Manu will come in for Lydia. And then it would just be the Mead on the right, Ford on the left, Viv in the hole with in the number 10 hole with Stina up top. So back to sort of the formation that I think we're a bit more familiar with.
Nice.
We'll see. But Jonas likes to throw a curveball out. So
I hope he doesn't, because we need this point.
Absolutely. We need to keep Chelsea honest until the last game of the season. And I said this Twitter, I know it's awful. I know it feels awful that the odds of probability are that we're not going to win the title this season. We're going to finish second. We're going to finish 1 point behind. And people will think about results that we had earlier in the season against Spurs, against Birmingham. I just think about where we were last season. When we were last season, we were scraping into Europe on a last-minute Kim Little penalty. We were well off the top. We were out of the title race by Christmas. We hadn't competed in any of the big games. And it just happened. In this season, we are contesting a title challenge right to the last game of the season, playing some really good football, an evolving team that's only going to get better under new management. It's going to get more investment in the summer. So we're a point behind now. This season will feel like a missed opportunity. I just think, yes, but I think look at the growth. I just think if we can take this form into next season, I think that's the one we'll be excited about. So yes, it'll be painful when the season ends, because I don't think if Man United do us a favour, great. But I don't think it's going to come to that. I think it's going to fall short. And I think that's credit to Chelsea and credit to Arsenal for basically having the world's longest staring contest and keeping each other honest between now and the end. And I think it'll be a hallmark of a great season all round, and hopefully we can build on it.
No, definitely. Matt, would you change anybody in that team that Adam's thrown at us, so to speak?
So I don't think anything really needs to change. Just looking at the stats again, the two games that are in the away form, the two that they've lost, it's only by the odd goal. Anyway, 2-1 to Chelsea and 1-0 to City. So they are coming into becoming season regulars. They know what these sort of games mean now. They understand what they need to do, how they need to build for the future. Unfortunately, they're not really in a sort of situation to really challenge anyone for anything at this stage, and may long that continue, but hopefully just knock Man United down a couple of pegs, because they seem to always be up there. And it's very surprising that a few of those players haven't got international call-ups as it is. On top of that, just talking about our team, the only thing I would change would probably be definitely Manu starting in goal from that Villa game. If it is going to be Katie coming off, then it is obviously going to be a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 formation with Stina coming in. I'm looking forward to it, because it's one game that you can never predict. I know you're going to ask for predictions towards the end.
Your favourite part of the show. I'm not going to leave it out.
Can't predict it. It's just wild. Like Adam was saying, I kind of tend to agree, but kind of disagree. I think with the way City have fallen off, they're going to come back a lot stronger next season. As the way things stand, Chelsea might not be able to buy anyone in the summer or sell anyone in the summer, so that might help us a little bit towards keeping on with this title challenge. But it needs to be continuing. I mean, the fact that we could have lost out the title by only losing one game says a lot about how Jonas has done since he's come in. Yeah. Some people saying, considering that this wasn't the summer window was actually Joe's last window, and he had no say. there was the fact that we've lost Tobin Heath now as well because she's injured herself. So there's probably a lot less eyes on Arsenal now than there would be over in the US, but it's just something that we've got to get used to.
I'm sure the Heather O'Reilly effect will remain strong.
Oh, that was amazing, actually. Did you hear her?
I did. I heard it on a clip back. I don't know if you were caught up with her at all, Lottie, because apparently Heather was at Meadow Park that day. I think she was. I think it was Beth Mead. She was giving some support to.
Yeah.
Yes, I actually saw her, but I didn't recognise her. I was like, "Who's Beth standing there talking to?" It was really bad. And then obviously I've seen the pictures over Twitter, and I went, "Oh my god, what an idiot!"
Yeah, no, she was with us a few seasons ago, but she's she sings Arsenal loud and proud since she left us.
It is quite funny though, the amount of players that you can walk past and not even realise they're there. It was about four Man City players at the Arsenal Everton game last weekend. The weekend before, and I literally just walked past Alana Kennedy. Didn't even I knew it was her, but I didn't say anything.
Yeah,
it was just one of those things. But there is a nice little story actually that I've got about her. One of the co-writers, that she was working in the Asia Cup over the winter, and it was her birthday. So my co-worker was wearing an Arsenal shirt, and she was saying happy birthday from the gantry, and she turned around and shouted, "No City shirt then." I was so tempted to go, "Oh, no Arsenal shirt then." That's where when I walked past,
you do run into a lot. And this is one of the great things about women's football is you walk through Meadow Park, and I've sat obviously near the dugout area, and I've had players walk past because the players will come and watch in the stand. So I've had players like Christian Press walk past me. And I've had Van der Donk walk past me. I've actually got a signature offer. I've had Serena Wiegman walk past me. I know, and I even tried to speak Dutch to her, which was rather embarrassing. Yes, it was.
No, you didn't.
And I bungled it.
God.
We'll gloss over that. But you do. I'm thinking like Lisa. I've seen Lisa Evans walk past Anna Patton, and it's sort of like. Sometimes they've got face masks on, you can't tell. You end up being a bit starstruck, and you think, "What's that?" I've seen Wrighty as well. Wrighty was a great
Wrighty was at the game, and I didn't even. I couldn't get a photo with him. He was with a
surrounded.
He was. I nearly tried to, but I thought, no, he's gonna just want to go and sit and watch the game. So I've left it.
But no, they sit. I mean, I've had Lisa Evans. I've seen like in the North Stand, just going around and thinking. That is Lisa. Yeah, it is Lisa Evans. And it's just the way they intermingle. It is special in that way. They're not all holed up in an executive box. Like
they can mingle with fans.
Secret entrance in the back.
Themselves, and that's
You'd
the best
expect
bit.
a lot of them to be there tomorrow as well. With Rashida, you got Lisa will probably be there as well.
I think last time I was in the same box as Woodsy. And I didn't even notice her.
Oh, Laura Woods on the radio.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
And she posted a picture, and I could see the back of my head. I'm like, "That's my head." Oh my god!
What was Champions League game?
Champions League game. She was there.
The Wolfsburg game.
Yeah, she was there.
I was very surprised she wasn't asked to host it or anything like that. She's a huge name.
Oh yeah, she's a huge Arsenal fan as well, which is great when Jamie O'Hara's on the radio.
Oh no, definitely. Guys, I'm just going to quickly whiz through these comments. That was a great night. Sat next to you. Ha ha. Very funny, Tom. Hilarious. Stu, sounds like it'd be a great atmosphere.
Yes.
They're tomorrow night at the North London Derby. Stu's put them there. Totally agree, Adam. To be fair, I used my points, so it is all completely free for us. We didn't have to pay money.
I don't have any of those.
Tommy said, "You going, Matt? Awesome
indeed."
I love Katie Adam.
Sorry, sacrifices must be made for the greater good.
That is another point. That's the first time you haven't seen Katie score either. You haven't.
That's a point. I still haven't seen her score. I've seen her score like watching from wherever, but I haven't actually been there for a worldie yet.
You've only seen
on my list this season. On my list.
It's a different atmosphere when she scores a cracker.
Absolutely. We'll get the chant going.
Don't get me started. I'll be sitting there humming that all day, all the rest of the evening. I'm ever the optimist. Football is a funny old game.
There's always a final twist.
So
There's always a twist at the end. We'll see.
Yes,
We'll see.
I will be going to that
we're all
last
here for
game
the
of
show
season
with bags of
well.
popcorn, aren't we, boys?
Well, I won't be. I'm working again. I'm missing the games.
Working.
I'm not watching them.
No.
Yep, I'm out on track once again. So yeah, I've been robbed
God.
of the final day drama. So I'm hoping when I get back from my shift, I'll be seeing them lifting the trophy at Dagenham. So fingers crossed.
I hope so. Sorry, Matt. What was you going to say?
I was just going to ask, is anyone else going? Because I'm going to that one as well. Melissa from the Facebook group. I know she's been chatting to you a little bit as well.
Yeah.
I met her at the Birmingham game, and we've just hit it off since then. And we're going together with her mum as well. So looking forward to it because it'll be a last game of the season. Everyone's going to want to give their all for it, and I think everyone's going to bring something towards the game just to say thank you to all of the team and everything.
Yeah, no, oh God, that sounds really good. Just wish I could go. I'm at Leeds though. Sorry. Me and George are going to Leeds. So it's one or the other, but I've obviously got into the women's a lot more this season. So it's definitely some tough choices for me to make next season because I love watching both. Well, and I do want to be at Meadow Park a bit more as well.
If the men qualify for Champions League football, if the men get Champions League football, they'll be playing Tuesday, Wednesday. So hopefully they'll be playing Saturdays more and not give you Sundays free.
Yeah, that is true. So it all depends how the fixtures fall.
Yep, absolutely,
so,
absolutely,
100%.
Actually, that's a good question because if both teams get Champions League, it's usually on the Wednesday and Thursday, isn't it? So
It could be games back to back. They've got no choice because the women's needs the VAR for the Champions League.
That was a knockout rounds though, but yes, it was a knockout rounds. They brought that in, but I think it is an interesting dilemma. There is how that will work. Obviously, with the luxury of not being in Europe, which means the women's could play in the Emirates. If Arsenal qualify for the men's Champions League, is how you're going to use both, for the men's and the women's, plus all the things like the League Cup ties and so forth that go on. How they're going to juggle that. I wouldn't be surprised if certain the group games games are put at Meadow Park and it's just the showcase fixture, the Barcelona game. If heaven forbid we get Barcelona in our group. So that's the way I hope it. But I would hope if it were, I'd like to see more Champions League games at the Emirates. I think it's where the tournament needs to be played. And we saw the crowds at the Camp Nou that Barcelona attracted. We can't get that sort of coverage and that kind of attendance unless we play in the bigger stadiums. So hopefully we can come to an arrangement which doesn't conflict, but that's for next seasons to worry about.
No, definitely.
That's the other thing as well is that if it is if we do have games on Thursday, it could be potentially double European night as well,
which would be fantastic
at worst. So it's going to be an interesting one how they sort that one out.
Double headers.
Yeah, double headers all season round. Oh, fun.
One on YouTube, the other one on BT. That's going to be fun.
No, double header at the same, playing both of the Emirates back to back. Just sit in the stadium for two Champions League games.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
But
then it would have to be 6 o'clock kickoff, and then
perfect. Get the coffee in.
Tommy, we will win the title. It's my first season watching the ladies. Arsenal Chelsea started the season with my first game. Since then, I've met some of the best friends you can ask for.
Great to have you on board, Tommy. If it's not next season, hopefully next season.
That first game of the season, you couldn't have asked for a better opener than that.
Best game I've seen at the Emirates live. Best. I know I've seen many, but that was the emotional torture and relief at the end. And if we do win the title, it will almost make that justified. But if we fall short, that will be our high point. But it's sort of sad that our high point was the first game of the season because it makes it feel like that we sort of tailed off. We haven't, but that was definitely that moment. That game was just the perfect advert for the WSL, and I hope we get another one of those.
I know I've got a lot of those clips in my intro video, which was made by a WFC clips. Which I'm
absolutely check her out.
So absolutely brilliant. Leah agreeing with Tommy. Come on, you guys, Arsenal. My voice is gone. Stop it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'd cry if I saw Wright. No lies, been my hero since day one.
Come to Meadow Park and you can see him in person.
Yeah, exactly. Get down from
He usually
Reading Top.
moves his daughter, doesn't he?
He does.
Into
He does.
those
Brings
games.
his kids along. Yeah, Tottenham get better. They do indeed, and we hope they do at Anfield at the weekend.
Checking my bank balance as you speak, Adam.
Emirates Cup
Emirates
style.
Cup style. Yeah.
Yes, they did, and the Mind series they did something similar.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So yeah, something that they'll have to think about it. It does need definitely considering. Absolutely.
Now that's what I want to see. I've got to say, she's been my favourite player this season. I love Tobin, but Beth is my absolute favourite. I love her to bits. And I'm getting Beth Mead printed on my shirt tomorrow. On my one, my the third. Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm getting her on my third shirt.
I'm still having trouble deciding who's going to be on that third one. So at the moment, at one point it was going to be Marnham, the other point it was going to be Mead, and the other point it was going to be Jordan Nobbs. So I'm kind of a bit stuck on that.
No, Meadow's been my favourite player since I've fully committed to the Arsenal. You've got to have a player and I thought no, it's Meadow, and it's the Rockets, and we saw an absolutely fine example of that at the weekend. An absolute crackerjack, top bins.
Something for the season, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's up there. I mean, yes, McCabe and will have something to say about that. Certainly,
Katie might have picked her.
Marnham
That was also against Villa, wasn't it? That was away at Villa.
McCabe scored a scorcher. Well, it was a long range lob against Villa, and then it was a chest and volley against Everton, which Marnham also scored a rip snorter against Everton as well. So there's been plenty of good goals, and that's definitely up there. Oh yes, that was the FA Cup. But that was another one. Mead and McCabe, accomplices in Rockets.
Yeah, no, definitely, completely agreed. Right, boys, that is the whole show. Thank you for joining me tonight. I know my voice is going, and I've got this irritating cough, which I can feel irritating me on the back of my throat as I speak. Adam, where can everyone find you?
You can find me at the Twitter handle located here at Adam Salter 4. Likewise for my Instagram, and yes, I post all sorts of nonsense about Arsenal and the Lionesses, and memes and jokes and clips and my opinions and such things. So if you have somehow enjoyed hearing me rabbit on for an hour and 10 minutes, then good. You can enjoy more of that in text form at my Twitter handle.
Right, my Statman Matt, where can everyone find you?
So my Twitter is at MattLR28. I'm not going to add anything else to that because that's it.
No worries.
It's usually the usual things.
I was just sitting here thinking, he thinks I've forgotten.
Go on then.
About the score predictions.
Right.
Let's do that before we completely wrap up.
I
forgot. I was sitting there thinking, no, hang on, I'm going to make Matt go first.
Okay. Go on then, Matt. You first.
I'm going to go on, Matt.
I always get them wrong anyway, so I'm going to say 1-1.
Oh,
okay.
Wow. Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Yes, no, Matt's right. As I said earlier, it's not a game you can. I mean, I predicted that we would. Well, I'd hoped, obviously, that we would win the away game over season, and boy, did we not win that one. I would hope, therefore, that we will win this one. If last season we won it 6-1, I can't see the same happening here. Yeah, I know that was a bonkers game. Spurs are much
volley, wasn't it? As well, wasn't it?
That was the away game, the Viv volley. This was the one with the Viv hat trick when she hit 50 goals in the WSL. I think it will be a bit closer. I'm going to go for 2-0 Arsenal. I think it will be a backs against the wall. Spurs will defend deep and try to ping us on the break. They'll know what this means, and they'll know how close they were. They were so close. I mean, they were very close to getting a win against us. Arsenal have never lost to Spurs, but the gap is definitely getting closer. I mean, there was a time we beat them 10-0. I think it was a FA Cup game FA Cup game.
Yeah.
Now they drew of us in the Conti Cup last season. They drew of us in the league this season. They are getting closer, but I think we do have enough. I think it'll be a win, and I think it'll be a very tense afternoon, but excitable. Because we want to see Spurs lose and get thrashed, but at the same time you want a contest. If it's a walkover, it's meaningless. So I hope it is a contest.
It's still a North London derby, so it's not technically that meaningless. I know we
no,
want a
but
good game of football.
yeah, no,
Even if
but
you
you
rolled
want
over, I
if you
I
just
still wouldn't batter
yeah,
him.
but if you watch and watch over, you want to have something to some resistance to fight against, because then it makes the battle feel worthwhile. And I hope we
No,
do get
definitely.
goals, and I hope we get a real contest, and that would excite the crowd. And that's what we need, because we want these people to come back. So 2-0
I'm
from
just
me.
It's a
Ooh,
big
very
game for them
nice.
as well, because they've got to play at their home stadium, the Toilet Bowl, as everyone likes to
Yeah.
call it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's against Leicester, and Leicester have got everything to play for going into this, as far as we know. But as far as we know,
I'm amazed with Leicester. I thought they were safe, but Birmingham have shown some real courage to come back, and they are, going into the last few days of the season, they still have a chance. They can still save themselves, and fair play to them. And they were desperate, unlucky not to get anything against Chelsea. Just
shows you how good this season has been. The fact that it's been unpredictable at times. I mean, Leicester, literally all they needed to do put a goal in the back of the net against Reading, and they were safe. Now all of a sudden they need to go to the Toilet Bowl and get something, and hope Birmingham lose in one of their remaining fixtures.
Yep, that is where it is. It's definitely been the best WSL season, and I think that's fantastic considering the improved coverage you've had this season with Sky and the BBC working together. And I hope that this is not a peak, but this is simply the next step on further improvements. So yes, lots to look forward to. Just a shame it's all coming to an end.
Oh, damn, we've got to wait till September. Right. I'm not impressed. Got to wait till September.
But we have the Euros. So
yeah, we do have the Euros. But
I have a little bit of news. Is that I was lucky enough to speak to the kit man after Everton, and he said that after the Euros they're only going to be back for about a week. And that'll be in August before they then go back on international duty. So it's going to be
it's World Cup qualifiers in September, isn't it?
Yeah. So it is almost like no break for them at all.
That's not good.
By December, we could be looking at. I wonder if they might say you know what, we'll let you have extended squads because of the way it's gone this season.
Thing is, a lot of the Chelsea and a lot of the Arsenal players, they will be going up for international duty. I have no doubt about that. A lot of our players also come from United, so I have absolutely no doubt. I'm hoping you're right, Matt. I really, really, really do. I'm just going to quickly whiz through these comments because I can see somebody's whizzing them in. Mead is also Tommy's favourite, I'm assuming. He's wearing his yellow shirt tomorrow. See you all tomorrow. We'll be in the trolley from about 5:30. There you go, Matt. You know where to go now. Yep. And I'm sure you already know where the trolley is, Adam.
I have been twice, I think, but I'm usually coming in from the wrong side. So I'm usually coming in from Vincent Park. So I'll have to.
Oh, no, it's literally. I'll give you directions. It's literally one road.
I come over the Ken Friars normally, so I normally come out the wrong way.
I see. There is literally one straight road down there.
No, I know. It's on the other side of the railway. I've been before. It's a nice pub.
Yeah, it is. 3-0 from Tommy. And I'm really sorry, Tommy, but I can't read that out. I can't.
PG.
PG. It's got to be PG, mate. You know that.
We're the fruit caking dynamite. That's the word you're looking for. The fruit caking.
Yeah, there we go. Sorted.
Fudge.
Absolutely.
Fudging.
That works too. All right, boys. Right. I'm gonna let Matt have the last word of the show today.
Well.
So
are you sure about that?
Yeah, I am. Just don't forget the 8-minute thing for knobs.
So yes, we've had a bit of a roller coaster this season. I'll be glad to be on this journey with you all over the next 2 to 5 days. Now, it's going to be another roller coaster. The ups and downs of football. Arsenal women at the Emirates. 8 minutes on the dot. We will be applauding for Jordan Nobbs. Shout it loud, shout it proud. And on top of that, an important game as well. North London derby doesn't get any bigger than that. Come on, you Arsenal.